Hello friends, once again. We are in end of May. It's almost June. And if you remember, we did a video about how to prune your vines, and this is a good time to trim your vines, meaning that in the last few months the vines had opportunity to grow and some of them will be overgrown. So this is a time to kind of go back and trim them and to control the overgrowth more, or to divert overgrowth now into the fruit, to have the fruit develop to be bigger and sweeter. So we're going to show you how to do that, and to take a lesson together with you, I have a perfecter here with me who's going to educate both you and me on how to do this. So if you remember, we trimmed these vines in early January, February, and now we have an excess of vines and leaves which we want to trim. So Perfector will explain to me what to do, and I will kind of translate to you. The idea behind all of this is to keep enough leaves so the leaves can absorb the sun and bring the energy back to the roots and back to the grapes. But there is a way where we need to cut certain of them because they're just simply overgrowing. So right now, what we're doing, if you can come closer down, we're going to evaluate. We're just going to go through the whole vines and we're going to evaluate which ones of these vines are unnecessary. So the lesson number one is to basically to divert, again, to divert the energy that's being used for these vines to grow out into the actually growing the leaves and growing the grapes. Now, leaves play a huge role in grapes development because they provide shade. So what I just learned from Perfecto is that if you're cutting these vines, what I have been doing, and I've been making a mistake doing this, I have been cutting them a little bit too low. So if you cut a vine like I did this one here, let me show you. Just want to show you. Earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I came in and I cut this vine. You see what happened? The grapevine is growing new vines off of this branch, which is not good because now we're just using this energy to go into new leaves, which we don't need. We already have the vine, and so to prevent that, what you do when you trim these new vines, you would kind of just trim them towards the end, just towards the end like this. Okay, just like that. And then another important thing is that to trim the amount of vines that are growing in. So that's something that we're going to show you next. Protección. Okay. Okay, so it's, I mean, this is very interesting too. Okay, so he's telling me the little lines that don't have the fruit and they're kind of growing downwards, you can go ahead and cut those, but you do need to leave enough of these vines carrying only leaves for the protection of the fruit. So let's see what else he has to share with us. Okay, so we have 3 big vines growing out here. So Perfecto, which one should we get rid of?
Esto, aquí, limpiar esto. No.
The chicas.
Chiquitos, esto.
Okay.
Esto, no más.
Okay. And the golden rule is to have at least 4 feet between the starting of the vine and where you cut. So that will be a good way to go. About 4 feet. Okay.
Esto.
All right. Bueno. Okay. ¿Qué pasa con esta?
Poquito esto, poquito arriba, open.
¿Está bien?
Está bien.
Okay. And I guess the new growth, you just don't bother with that. So about 4 feet. Okay, that's a very good point. He is un poco diferente, ¿sí?
Es diferente.
Different. Okay. This is a little bit different. That particular vine was a freestanding vine, if you will. It just grows up. When you have them in lines like this, Perfecto already showed me how to clean them this far, and he's going to continue to show us. So just come on in. Perfecto, show us what we need to do here.
Esto, es una wood.
Okay, so all the ones that are on the bottom, we're gonna cut them. Okay, clean that. Okay. Okay, so right here we have 4. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna kind of limit it to 3, as he was suggesting that we do keep only 3. So this one goes out. Okay. All right, this one
Mhm.
is
This
done.
one?
4 feet?
Yeah.
4 feet,
feet.
okay.
This one.
Bring it in.
This one.
Okay, very good. All right, so there's a very good point, if I can bring it back, and he was explaining to me, this is also a very good time to plan for that spring trimming. As you see, he said, leave these, you know how we can cut the vines last spring and we cut it here? This time we are letting a new vine grow on the bottom. So when the spring comes next year, we will be able to cut right here and keep the new growth close to mother vine. So this is the reason why you kind of want to grow these new vines underneath as well. But basically you're keeping about 3 of them growing out of that new vine. Okay. Okay, how many do we have there?
1, 2, 3, 4.
For the little one go out?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, little one.
Yes.
Okay, and we're keeping 3 main ones.
Yeah.
And again, just like, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, we're just gonna clean a little bit of these leaves. So again, here, you see where we cut it last spring, and the next year we can cut it right here and here, so we can have the new growth coming from this vine. I hope these instructions are helpful and they are making sense. But I would suggest, if you're doing this for the first time and if you're truly learning how to do this well, I would suggest that you do some further research online and check out other YouTube videos to compare to what we shared. Perfecto has worked in the vineyards for many years, and I know that he knows what he's doing. And I just want to make sure that I'm able to share this information with you and to explain it properly. So for that reason, I would suggest to check out other YouTube videos and just gather more knowledge from people who have been doing this for a while. The good news is, vines are very forgiving. So even if you mess up the first year, there's always the next year. Important thing is that you continue to spend time in nature and that you embrace this new trend and learning how to grow your own fruit and vegetables and vines or any kind of a product and produce. So not just that it's beneficial for your family for the sake of a product, but also for the sake of spending quality time in nature, which we all need more of. I'm very passionate about infusing our modern lives with these old world skills and old world lifestyle. The beauty of it, it's possible to incorporate the old world and the new world into a happy and healthy life today. To make this dream reality, my charitable organization is for the 3rd year now donating free packages of vegetable and fruit seeds to communities in Southern California. Seeds are donated to public library systems, and we are hoping to grow this project on a national level. After taking some 101 lessons from Perfecto, I was in a vineyard the next day to continue with work. Perfecto have shown me how to trim some of the vines. I will be trimming the rest. And so what I gathered out of his lessons is to keep enough of strong vines growing. Don't trim them too much, and allow enough growth for the leaves to develop and for the fruit to continue to feed. I did some research myself. Somebody would say approximately about 17 leaves up, or about 4 feet up away from a vine is a good length. So these are just some of the tips on how to prune vines in summer. And right now we're just about to enter in June, in the month of June. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest, and when I find a good example, I'll share it with you. Another good reason to start growing your own orchard, garden, or vineyard would be to introduce this lifestyle to our children. It's very important to bring our kids back to places like these. Like many important lessons in life, a love for nature, gardening, and growing vegetables, fruit, and trees is passed on from parents and grandparents onto kids. These are looking pretty nice. Learning to grow some of our food is beneficial and important on so many levels, and I believe that 2020 and COVID pandemic has taught us the importance of self-sustainability. So I'm going to take you to another part of my property where I have a few more vines in a fence. And I'm going to show you exactly what not to do because we made a big mistake earlier by trimming these vines. So here's the perfect example. I have these beautiful vines, and as you can see, they're old and they bear very good fruit. And you can see this by just by the grapes they're developing. But in any case, I had my gardener and I asked him to trim the vines just a little bit, and as you can see, he trimmed them too much. And this is precisely what you should not do. And so what Perfecto was telling me is when you cut your vines this short, first of all, you're exposing the grapes to the sun, and the fruit can burn. That's a number one. Number two, you're not going to have enough leaf foliage to absorb the energy. So this is a big no-no. So cutting them this short, this is only about maybe a foot from the vine. It's a big no-no. So I hope that my vines and my grapes will do okay this year. But again, this was a big mistake. So in any case, I think you got the point. Again, don't cut them too short, and go inside and trim them and thin them, if you will. So I'm never going to make this mistake, and I'm sorry I asked my gardener to trim these vines. Now, I'm not sure if this exposure to sun is causing some of these grapes to fall off. This could be a reason. I'm yet to find out, but I'm suspecting that this has something to do with us cutting these vines too short. In addition to that, also all the new growth, like this new sprout here, is dying too. It's getting sunburn and it's dying. So again, you can do a lot of damage if you cut your vines the wrong way. But hopefully we're gonna make it through this year, and I'm very thankful that we only have few vines that they were somewhat damaged. Hey, by the way, if any of you over there have bees and would love to share some bees with us, I get the hive, and we've been waiting for bees for quite a long time. So any of you out there who would like to send us a queen and few bees, we would really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video, and there are many more on the way. My goal and my mission is to encourage a lot of families in America to start gardening and growing their own fruits and vegetables, and also to start cooking again and spending quality family time with your kids and with your community. To find out more about my work, please visit my charitable organization called Vlada's Seeds of Life. You can find out more about what we're doing nationally, locally, and regionally. So one of the things that we do is we produce a family cooking program called Cooking and Kids, which you can request your public access television station to air. The program is on PEG Media, and we are currently in 40 states on over 240 public access TV stations. So check us out, find out what Vlada's Seeds of Life is all about and what Vlada Place is all about. And if you like what we do, support us. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will subscribe and give us your thumbs up. See you soon.